Hi, and welcome. You're listening to the X22 Report. My name is Dave, and this is episode 1956A, and today's date is August 29th, 2019, and the title of the episode is Mainstream Media Central Bank Plan Just Failed. Watch what happens next. Now, before I get started, I wanted to talk about gold. If you've been watching the news lately, you'll have seen the 50th anniversary of the Apollo 11 launch. Those Saturn V rockets moved, and if you plotted their trajectory on a chart, it might look something like this. Except this isn't an Apollo launch. This is the price of gold since June. Noble Gold has been predicting the gold takeoff since last year. Call Noble Gold at 877-646-5347 and make sure to mention X22 Report to see if there are any promotions they're running for gold IRA rollovers. Call 877-646-5347 or hit the link below. Let's get into the economic collapse financial news. Now, the central bankers, the establishment, the deep state, the mainstream media, they all have plans. Plans to keep their system going. Plans to make sure that those in the UK, those in the United States, those in other countries never succeed. They want to keep the people down. But as you can see, everything is not going as planned, and their plan is failing. Take, for instance, the UK. We see right now that Parliament, they're going to close that down. They're not going to give them a chance to stop the BREXIT. Boris Johnson is moving forward with a no Brexit deal. And Nigel Farage is out there, and he is saying that what Boris Johnson is doing, his request to close Parliament in order to push through a no-deal Brexit, well, closing Parliament is a normal process being hyped up by opposition leaders. Now, we've seen this before. We've seen the mainstream media, the establishment, hype up something that is absolutely normal, and there's really nothing to it. But they're trying to make it a big deal, so everyone goes, oh, see, look what they're doing. This can't happen. But guess what? It is going to happen. And I do believe we're going to see a lot of people resign. Already, we have Scottish Tory leader Ruth Davidson. She decided to resign. She was all for the UK staying with the EU. She sees the writing on the wall. She sees that this is not going to happen. And she decided it's time to leave. And I think many of the individuals within the UK, once they start to realize that their days are numbered, they're going to leave too, just like here in the United States. Now, the mainstream media, they've been reporting for weeks now that the recession is coming. They're pushing their agenda, and now they produced a poll to show what people believe, and they believe a recession is coming, and they're agreeing with what the mainstream media is saying. Think about what they've just done. So out of Fox News, it says warning signs for Trump as poll shows more think economy is getting worse. So we all know the formula. We all know what they're doing here. They push the news on the mainstream media outlets, repeat it over and over so people believe it. Then they show a poll that people really do believe a recession is coming, which backs up the mainstream media's news reports. And by doing this, they hope that people will follow along, that the sheep will be herded in a certain direction. But we need to remember something very important. The mainstream media, the deep state, the central bank, they're fighting against their own brainwashing. For years, they told the people that the stock market, GDP, low unemployment, having a lot of debt means a strong economy. So if you see the stock market moving up, that's good. GDP numbers, if they're high, that's good. Unemployment numbers, if they're low, that's good. And if people are spending and they're using their credit card and accumulating more debt, that's a good thing. I mean, go back to the holiday season. When they report how retail is doing, what do they use? They use the credit card statistical numbers to let everyone know that everyone is using their credit cards, and this is coming out from MasterCard and Visa, and they show that, look, everything is great. Now, during the Obama administration, they went ahead and they said, look, Retail is very strong because people are using their credit cards. Does that really mean retail is strong? Or does it mean people really don't have the funds to pay for the items? That's what that really means. But Trump and the Patriots, they know this. They know if people feel good about the economy, if people believe that the economy is doing well, they will go out and spend. And that's exactly what we're seeing. Even with these poll numbers, even with the mainstream media out there telling you that the economy is weakening, the economy looks like it's going into recession, the Fed can't do anything to stop it, which is fake, phony, and false. What are people doing? They're out there spending their money. Now, think about this for a second. If the interest rates come down and stimulus is started, this will open the entire market to new people. And what do I mean by this? Well, if we take the housing market, for instance, and we've talked about this many, many times before, this trick has been used to pump up the bubbles. Trump and the Patriots know this. If you lower the interest rates, guess what? You have more purchasing power to purchase a home. You can even get a better home. Same thing with an automobile, same thing with student loans. You have the ability to go back to college. You have the ability to purchase a car. Businesses have the ability to refinance at a much lower rate, to buy back their stocks, to keep the system going. What happens if the rates go up? The opposite happens. People are bumped out of the housing market. People don't want to buy cars right now. People don't want to go back to school because the rates are too high. Businesses, guess what? They're struggling. Their interest rates on their debt, it moves up. They have to pay more. They struggle. And it doesn't work out for them. Trump, Patriots, they know this. The mainstream media knows this. But they're trying to spin this because this is all they have. But it's already failed because the people actually feel good. The people believe what they've been told all along about the stock market, the unemployment, and all the statistical numbers. That's what they've been listening to. And Trump and the Patriots, they're using all of this against the central bank, the mainstream media, the deep state. Everything that they've done in the past, it's like a boomerang, and they're getting hit with it. And there's nothing they can do. Now, out of Bloomberg, there was an article that said, yes, the Fed could still stop a recession. And out of CNBC, we also have someone saying, listen, if the Fed lowers rates and it's a big enough drop, guess what? This economy can keep going. So just with that means that Trump and the Patriots, they're on the right path. And we know the agenda of the deep state, the central bank, and the mainstream media. Now, like we said, Trump is going to continually hit at the Fed very, very hard every single time. He's not going to stop. He's going to accelerate it until he gets the rate cuts, until he gets the stimulus. And then guess what? He's going to want another rate cut. And he's going to want more stimulus. Trump tweeted out the following. The economy is doing great with tremendous upside potential. If the Fed would do what they should, we are a rocket upward. And he's absolutely right. He's laying it out for the people, letting everyone know, if the Fed does what I say, the economy is going to take off. It's going to be like a rocket ship blasting off. And everyone is going to see this. Everyone is going to notice this. And as you can see with this one rate cut, what has the market been doing? Yeah, bobbed up and down a little bit. But guess what? It's moving up. If there is another rate cut, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to move up even more. And we know that Trump and the Patriots, they're going to get this. The Fed is preparing. They're preparing their statistical analysis of the economy. And Powell is going to fold under the pressure. And he will cut the rates. He will start stimulus. Which means Trump and the Patriots, they control what the central bank is doing. And think about this. Every time Trump tweets out about the Fed, he's building the narrative to take them down. That's what we're going to see next. He's continually building the narrative. It's not just that he just wants the rate cuts, that he just wants stimulus. Yes, that's very important. But he's also building the narrative and setting up the Fed to let everyone know, one, they have no idea what they're doing. Two, they're not keeping up with what the world is doing. Three, they're completely clueless. And if they didn't listen to what Trump says, the economy wouldn't be doing as well as it is. This is a complete and utter setup of the central bank. And I do believe once Trump is reelected and we're in the second term, this is when we're going to see everything change. A lot of the transition, a lot of the companies where they were out in China and other countries, they're going to be returning to the United States. Trump and the Patriots will have the parallel economy chugging along, ready to make the transition. And all they need to do is show why the central bank is not good for this country. And that is coming. Now, again, Trump is letting everyone know that this is going to be a bumpy ride. He has to put this country, the world, through some bumps. Might be a recession. We might even go into depression. But we already all know this. This is why Trump was out there saying, yes, we might have a month or two of a recession, but it'll be temporary. We will recover, and we will. And on the other side, the new economy with sound money, with free trade, with bilateral trade agreements, where we're on an even playing field, the economy is going to be unbelievable. And once we get rid of that central bank and we don't have to borrow the money with interest attached to it, well, guess what? The economy is going to do even better. This is what Trump and the Patriots are setting up. They're setting up a people's economy so the people of this country can do very, very well. Instead of having this division and having many, many people that are poor or many, many people that are in the middle class and having the 1% have all the wealth and having most of the people in debt. This is all about to change. Actually, everything that we think or we knew about this economy is about to change. That has to do with debt. That has to do with credit. What's real money? What's just paper money? All these things that we were taught over the many, many years, this was central bank schooling. All of this is about to change. And we're going to learn something completely different. And we're going to realize, you know something? We were bamboozled. We were put into this Ponzi scheme with all these different things to make us think that this is how an economy actually runs. And we're going to realize that no, this is not an open free market that we've been in. It's a central bank control market that benefits them and the elite and the establishment, not the people. That's where the country is headed. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared. Thanks a lot.